the 49th chapter. The Bible says, "Listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken ye people from far. The Lord has called me from the womb, from the bowels of my mother has he made mention of my name, and he has made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hand hath he hid me, and made me a polished shaft. In his quiver has he hid me, and said unto me, Thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. Then said I, Have I labored in vain? I have spent my strength for naught, and in vain. Yet surely my judgment is with the Lord, and my work is with God." Isaiah gives us an experience of a man who knew that he was called from his mother's womb. He was consecrated, he was positioned, he was empowered, and even though he was a servant of God, and God shines through him in that way, he got to a place and realized that there was a frustration in his labor. He felt like he had labored in vain. He felt like he had spent strength for nothing, and all his works were in vain, and yet his judgment is with the Lord. And this experience that I'm talking about, I have seen many a time in the life of believers, where you know that you're in the perfect will of God concerning your life. Say you are a minister, you know the Lord appeared to you at a young age or whatever age he did and told you, I have called you, I've anointed you, I've called you to be this. And you're ready, you're doing whatever you can as a minister. And then you get to a place where you're frustrated in your labors. And then you'd see nothing of your labors. You see nothing of your strength. You see nothing of your toil. You see nothing of your sweat and blood and time. I'm talking about that place where you invest yourself. You are invested in the things of God, but you don't see the results of those things. As somebody listening to me, you are in a marriage. God appeared to you. Maybe an angel did. Prophets prophesied on your life, and you knew that this was a man or this was a woman. And you are in your marriage right now, but you don't see the fruit of your marriage. You don't see the results that should come with the promises that God gave those who marry. Everything has gone astray and adverse. You're conflicted and confused. Perhaps if it wasn't for your children or for the people that observe you, you would have gone out of that marriage long ago. I can talk about career people. You have a business, you've been running a business for so long, and you're not like the other crazy folk. You've been giving your first fruits, you've been giving your tithes, you've done everything you know in the book, but there's just something wrong with this thing. You don't see the labors come through with the fruit of every seed that you have planted. You don't see that your strength has come to something. You don't see the equal measure of results, or even more of the results that you expect from the seed that you have sown. You're the person that I came to talk to. I came to talk to somebody who knows that they're in the perfect will of God. They're not even questioning whether it is God in this or not. They're doing everything they know to the book to do. They're crossing every T and dotting every I. They're asking God, what haven't I done next? What have I missing? Of course, I'm not saying that you're going to be perfect all the way. It's a journey. It's progress from one place to another. But you could judge yourself and say, at least I have tried in this area. At least I've given. At least I've prayed. At least I've committed. I have forgiven. I have reconciled things. I've tried to reconstruct. I've realigned. But things are just not working out as for the labors. And especially for those of you who have labored for a long time, you know what I'm talking about. You've been in an institution working for 30 years, but there's none to show for it. You've been in ministry for 20, 15 years, but you don't see the results of the person who should carry those results for the time that you have spent.